Hello everybody, and welcome back to Certified Collectibles. This is another episode of First Appearances of the Week. This is Wednesday, May 11th, 2022. We'll be giving you all the first appearances in your comic shops today. Now this week we have a pretty light week for you guys. I think only 2 first appearances, 7 honorable mentions, so only 9 titles on all to go through. Not very many this week, won't take us very long at all, but definitely a couple good books in there to add to your collection. So let's go ahead and get started for the first appearances of the week ending May 13th, 2022. First up from DC Black Label, Sandman Universe Nightmare Country number 2. This features the possible first full appearance of the Smiling Man. Now the Sandman titles, the Sandman characters, definitely a huge fan base out there, a huge collector base for that particular universe, that particular franchise. That being said though, this is kind of an offshoot of the original Sandman title series. This is Sandman Universe Nightmare Country. And this is also the possible first full appearance, so we need confirmation that this is the actual first full appearance of the Smiling Man. This one here, you may have some time on this one. If you want to pick up the spec on, go ahead and do so. But like I said, we do think you have some time on this one. You can put it on your B-list, keep an eye on it, take a look at it later on. And from Marvel Comics, Moon Knight Black, White, and Blood number 1. This is a 4-issue limited series of an anthology of stories. This features the first appearance of the last living priestess of Khonshu, a vigilante who operates 6,000 years into the future. Now, the Moon Knight franchise, hugely popular, mostly due to the streaming series, so a lot of people are rushing into this franchise trying to pick up any first appearances, and this is the first appearance of the last living priestess. This is one we definitely think you should pick up and add to your collection. And now for the honorable mentions. From Opus Comics, Frank Franzetta's Death Dealer number 1. This is a kickoff series to launch a proposed multiverse of titles based on characters created by Frank Frazetta. Now, I don't think I have to tell you, Frank Frazetta, incredibly popular, huge fan base out there for any of the Frank Frazetta characters. His artwork, his original work in comics and pulps, incredibly popular, huge fan base, huge collector base out there. So this one here is definitely worth picking up the spec on. It really all depends on what Opus does, though, with this particular franchise, if they're able to pull it off. If they are, you definitely want this first issue. If they can't, then you're out a few bucks. But definitely pick this one here up the spec on if you can. If you can't, put it on your B-list, but definitely keep an eye on this one. Next up from Image Comics, 8 Billion Genies number 1. Chaos ensues after 8 billion genies grant everyone in the world one wish. Now, Image Comics has had a lot of titles optioned for small screen and big screen projects, and this one here sounds like it can lend itself very well to one of those projects. So this is going to be a spec bet if you choose to pick it up, but like I said, it does sound like it can lend itself very well, especially to a small screen or streaming series. So this one here, spec bet if you choose to pick it up, but it might be worth doing so for the cover price. If you can't, put it on your B-list, take a look at it later on. Next up from Boom Comics, Grimm number 1. A woman has been recruited to be a reaper in the afterlife, but is plagued by the mystery of how she died. Now, once again, this sounds like it can lend itself very well to a feature film, streaming series, or TV show, and Boom Comics has had some of their titles picked up an option for these projects. So this is also going to be a spec bet if you choose to pick this one up, but it might be worth doing so for the cover price. Like I say, if these get onto a small screen and big screen, gets a lot more eyes on this particular project, this could be a big winner. If so, you're in it for 3 or 4 bucks. If it's a big loser, you're out 3 or 4 bucks. Definitely a speculative bet. Pick this one up here if you can. If you can't, put it on your B-list, but keep an eye on it. Next up from DC Comics, Batman Urban Legends number 15. The solicitation references a new Birds of Prey. Now, I don't know if that's a whole new lineup for the Birds of Prey, or if this is just a new character being added to the team. This one here definitely needs a little bit more research before you add this to your collection. We do think you have some time on this one, so you can put this one here on your B-list for now. Next up from Marvel Comics, Captain America Symbol of Truth number 1. This is a series that features Sam Wilson in the role of Captain America. Now, I don't think I need to tell you, Sam Wilson as Captain America was hugely popular, huge fan base out there for this particular character playing Captain America, and his first appearance as Captain America in comics is going to cost you some big money. So this one here may be worth picking up. This is the premiere issue of this new series. So if you choose to pick this one up, it's only going to cost you a few bucks. It might be worth picking up for your collection. Go ahead and grab this one here if you can. If you can't, put it on your B-list, but keep an eye on it. Now next up from Marvel Comics, What If Miles Morales number 3. This is an alternate reality story where Miles Morales becomes a gamma-irradiated Hulk. Now, these What If titles, hugely popular with fans, and Miles Morales, fan favorite character. So this one here we do think is probably worth picking up for your collection. It really all depends on what Disney, Marvel do with these What If titles where they're introducing Miles Morales as other characters. If they do something big with it, you're sitting on a winner here. If not, you still have one of these What If titles with Miles Morales starring as different characters in the Marvel Universe. Still probably worth picking up. Grab this one here if you can. If you can't, put it on your B-list, but keep an eye on it. And finally from Marvel Comics, X-Men number 11. In this issue, you have the introduction of Game World. Not exactly sure what Game World is. This one here definitely needs a little bit more research before you choose to pick it up. And the X-Men franchise is not as popular as Have It Collected as it once was. So this one here we do think you have a little bit of time on. Put this one here in your B-list for now. Take a look at it later on. So there you have the 9 titles that we have for you guys this week. Definitely a couple good books in there worth adding to your collection. Please feel free to drop some comments in the comment section below. Thumbs up if you like this video. And as always, please remember to subscribe to the channel for more videos like this. Thank you for joining us here at Certified Collectibles, and we'll see you again next time.